Hi everyone, have you ever felt like failure is the end of the road? What if I told you that failure is not your enemy? It's your greatest opportunity to rise stronger than ever. Today we will talk about it. My name is MUNIBA Mazari and I am motivational speaker. If you find this video fruitful, then you can appreciate me by like and subscribe and start a new journey with me. Let's start the topic. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. You try so hard, you give your best, and yet things don't go the way you planned. Maybe you lost a job you loved. Maybe a dream you worked for slipped right through your fingers. Maybe you trusted someone and they let you down. And in that moment, the world seems unfair. You ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But what if I told you that failure is not the end? What if I told you that this setback is actually a setup for something greater? Life has a way of redirecting us when we are too focused on a path that isn't meant for us. Sometimes what we see as a dead end is actually a detour, a way to take us where we truly belong. Think about a time when you wanted something badly, but didn't get it. Maybe you were heartbroken back then, but today when you look back, you understand why it didn't work out. Maybe losing that job pushed you to start something of your own. Maybe that rejection made you stronger, more capable, and ready for bigger opportunities. Life is always moving, and sometimes failure is just a sign that you need to change direction. But the problem is, most people get stuck. They see failure as a final destination rather than a bend in the road. They stop trying. They let fear control them. They convince themselves that they are not good enough. And that is where the real failure happens. Not when you fall, but when you refuse to rise again. Failure is a part of every success story. It's easy to admire people who have achieved great things, but do we ever stop and think about what they went through? How many times did they fail before they succeeded? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people don't quit when they fail. They learn, they adapt, and they move forward. Imagine a child learning to walk. The child falls again and again. But does that mean they will never walk? No. They try again, and eventually they take their first step. That's exactly how life works. Every fall teaches you something. Every mistake makes you wiser. And every failure takes you one step closer to success. The truth is, life will test you. It will push you to your limits. It will break you down to see if you are strong enough to stand back up. But in those difficult moments, you must remind yourself that you are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are being shaped into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. So the next time life knocks you down, don't let it break you. Instead, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Where is this taking me? Because once you start looking at failure as redirection rather than defeat, everything changes. You stop feeling sorry for yourself. You stop blaming the world, and you start using failure as fuel to move forward. Great things don't come easy. Success is never a straight road. It is full of twists, turns, and obstacles. But if you keep going, if you refuse to give up, one day you will look back and realize that everything happened exactly as it was meant to. The failures, the disappointments, the closed doors, they weren't stopping you. They were guiding you to something even better. So don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it, learn from it, use it to fuel your fire. Because one day you will stand tall and the world will see that nothing, not even failure, could stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. Failure is something we all fear. The moment we fail at something, we feel like everything is over. It hurts, it makes us doubt ourselves. It makes us feel like we are not good enough. But what if I told you that failure is not your enemy? What if I told you that failure is actually your greatest teacher? Think about it. Every time you fail, you learn something. You learn what went wrong. You learn what to do differently next time. You learn what you need to improve. And most importantly, you learn that you are stronger than you thought. Failure is not meant to stop you, it is meant to prepare you. But the problem is, we don't see it that way. The moment we fail, we start feeling sorry for ourselves. We start comparing our lives with others. We see successful people and think they have it easy. We believe they never faced failures like we do, but the truth is, every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can imagine. The only difference is, they didn't let failure define them. They let it shape them. A child learning to ride a bicycle will fall many times, but every time they fall, they learn something new. Maybe they need to balance better, maybe they need to pedal harder, maybe they need to be more confident. If they gave up after falling once, they would never learn to ride. But because they keep trying, they eventually succeed. That is exactly how life works. Failure is not there to break you. It is there to teach you how to be better. The problem is, we see failure as a reflection of our worth. We think that failing means we are not smart enough, not talented enough, not capable enough. But failure doesn't define who you are. It only shows you where you need to improve. It's like a mirror that reflects your weaknesses so that you can turn them into strengths. Think about the first time you tried something new. Maybe speaking in front of people, starting a new job, or even learning a skill. You probably weren't perfect at it. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you even embarrassed yourself. But over time, as you kept trying, you got better. That is what failure does. It gives you the lessons you need to grow. But most people don't give themselves that chance. The moment they fail, they stop trying. They let fear take over. Become afraid of making mistakes, afraid of what people will say, afraid of failing again. But what they don't realize is that avoiding failure means avoiding growth. If you never make mistakes, you will never improve. If you never take risks, you will never achieve anything great. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail, learn, and try again. They understand that failure is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be grateful for. Because every failure teaches you something that success never could. So the next time you fail, don't let it break you. Don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become better? Because the truth is, failure is only a problem if you refuse to learn from it. But if you see it as a lesson, it becomes the very thing that leads you to success. Failure is not a dead end. It is not a reason to quit. It is a sign that you are trying, that you are pushing yourself, that you are on the path to something greater. And if you are willing to learn, if you're willing to keep going despite the setbacks, then one day you will look back and realize that every failure was actually a step towards something incredible. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying, because failure doesn't stop you, giving up does. Keep learning, keep growing, and one day your failures will turn into your greatest success. When we look at successful people, we only see the final result. We see their achievements, their confidence, their fame, and their success. But what we don't see is the struggle behind it. We don't see the sleepless nights, the countless failures, the sacrifices, and the moments when they almost gave up. The world only sees success, but it never pays attention to the pain, the rejection, and the heartbreak that came before it. The truth is, success is never as easy as it looks. No one wakes up one day and suddenly becomes great. It takes years of effort, patience, and most of all, the ability to rise every time you fall. But most people don't see that. They look at someone else's success and think, they must be lucky, they must have had an easy life. And that's where they go wrong. The reality is, every successful person has a story filled with struggles. The difference is, they never let those struggles stop them. They kept moving, they kept believing, and they refused to quit. If you could see the failures behind every great achievement, you would never again be afraid of falling. Think about a tree. When we see a big, strong tree, we admire its beauty, its strength, and how it stands tall. But what we don't see are the deep roots beneath the ground, holding it up. Those roots are the struggles, the failures, and the lessons that made the tree strong. Without them, the tree would fall with the first storm. Success works the same way. The struggles you face today are the roots that will make you strong enough to handle success tomorrow. But here's the problem. Most people only want the success. They don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want the rewards, but they don't want the failures. The moment they face difficulties, they start doubting themselves. They start believing that maybe they are not meant to succeed. But the truth is, failure is not a sign to stop. It's a sign to keep going. It's a sign that you are on the right path. Because if you weren't trying something great, you wouldn't be failing at all. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable has been through rejection. They have been told no more times than they can count. They have had people laugh at their dreams, doubt their abilities, and tell them to give up, but they didn't listen. They understood that rejection is not a reason to quit, it's a reason to try harder. Think about how many people give up too soon. They quit just before they were about to succeed. They walk away when things get tough, not realizing that they were only one step away from a breakthrough. But the ones who make it are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who see failure as just another step forward. So the next time you feel like giving up, remind yourself that what you see on the outside is never the full story. The people you admire, the ones who inspire you, have been exactly where you are right now. The only difference is they kept going. They didn't stop when they failed. They didn't give up when they struggled. And because of that, they turned their failures into stepping stones for success. Your struggles are not a sign that you are not good enough. They are proof that you are on the right path. They are shaping you, preparing you, making you stronger. And one day, when you achieve everything you dream of, people will look at you and only see your success. But you will know the truth. You will know the battles you fought, the nights you cried, and the failures that made you who you are. And that is what will make your success even more meaningful. So, don't be discouraged by failure. Don't be ashamed of struggle. Because the world may only see your success, but you will always know the strength it took to get there. Keep going, keep believing, and one day you will be the inspiration that someone else looks up to. It looks like you meant key point no 4 instead of 47. Here's an expanded speech on your mindset is your greatest power in a productive, relatable, and powerful way. Everything in life starts with your mindset. The way you think shapes the way you live. If you believe you are capable, you will find a way. If you believe you are not, you will find an excuse. The difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is not talent, not luck, and not even hard work. It is their mindset. Your mind is your greatest tool, but it can also be your biggest enemy. The way you talk to yourself, the way you handle failure, the way you see obstacles, all of it depends on what you tell yourself. If you constantly say, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, what if I fail? Then your mind will believe it, and once you believe it, you will start acting like it's true. But if you train yourself to say, I can learn this, I am strong enough, I will figure this out, then you create a mindset that pushes you forward instead of holding you back. We all know someone who always complains. No matter what happens, they find something negative. They believe the world is against them. They believe success is for other people, but not for them. And because they think that way, they never even try, they never take risks, they never step out of their comfort zone. And as a result, they stay exactly where they are. Now, think about someone who always finds a way. No matter how hard life gets, they refuse to give up. They face challenges with courage. They fail, but get back up stronger. It's not that their life is easier. It's not that they don't struggle. It's just that their mindset is different. They see problems as challenges, not as roadblocks. They see failure as feedback, not as defeat. And because they think this way, they keep going when others quit. So ask yourself, which person do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who sees limitations or the person who sees possibilities? Because at the end of the day, your success is not determined by your circumstances. It is determined by how you respond to them. Think about a situation where you failed in the past. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Maybe you tried something new and it didn't work out. Maybe you wanted to do something big, but fear held you back. Now ask yourself, was it really failure that stopped you? Or was it your mindset about failure? Most of the time, it's not failure that holds us back. It's what we believe about failure. If you believe that failing means you're not good enough, you will give up. But if you believe that failing is part of learning, you will keep going until you get it right. That one shift in mindset can change your entire life. The truth is, your mind is like a muscle. The more you train it to think positively, the stronger it gets. The more you challenge yourself, the more resilient you become. But if you don't train your mind, if you allow negativity, doubt, and fear to control you, then your potential will always be limited. So the next time you face a challenge, stop and listen to your thoughts. Are you telling yourself you can't do it? Or are you telling yourself you will find a way? Because whatever you believe will become your reality. Your mindset is the key to everything. It can push you forward or it can hold you back. But the good news is you get to choose. You have the power to reprogram your mind, to replace fear with confidence, to replace doubt with determination. And once you do that, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you from becoming who you are meant to be. When something goes wrong in life, the first question most people ask is, why me? Why did I lose that opportunity? Why did I fail when I worked so hard? Why do things always go wrong for me? It's a natural reaction. Pain, disappointment, and failure make us feel like the world is unfair. But asking why me will never give you the answers you need. It only makes you feel helpless. Now imagine if instead of asking why me, you ask, what is this teaching me? How different would your life be? Every failure, every struggle, every setback carries a lesson. But most people never look for it. They are too focused on their pain, too stuck in their frustration to see that there is something valuable hidden within every difficult experience. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you lost a job. And at the time, it felt like the worst thing that could happen. But later, maybe that loss pushed you to find something even better. Maybe it forced you to develop a new skill, to grow in ways you never would have otherwise. Maybe it led you to an opportunity you never even considered before. This is how life works. Sometimes what feels like a disaster is actually a blessing in disguise. But you will never see it if you are too focused on feeling like a victim. The truth is, life is a constant teacher. Every mistake teaches you patience. Every rejection teaches you resilience. Every failure teaches you something about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your determination. But you have to be willing to learn. The problem is, most people see struggles as punishment. They believe that if they fail, it means they are not good enough. They believe that if something doesn't work out, then maybe they were never meant to succeed. But that's not true. Struggles are not there to break you. They are there to prepare you. They are shaping you into the person you need to be for the success that is waiting for you. If you look at the lives of successful people, you will see that they have all faced failure. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They used it to learn, to grow, to improve. They didn't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They didn't ask, why me? Instead, they asked, what is this teaching me? And that question changed everything. Think about it. When a child falls while learning to walk, do they sit there and say, why me? Why did I fall? No. They get up and try again. They learn balance. They learn how to place their feet. They learn through experience. And eventually, they succeed. That's how life works. Every time you fall, you are learning. Every time you fail, you are growing. But only if you are willing to pay attention to the lesson. So the next time life knocks you down, don't waste time complaining. Don't let self-pity take over. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is life trying to teach me? How can I use this to grow? Because once you start looking for the lesson, failure loses its power over you. Instead of feeling weak, you feel strong. Instead of feeling stuck, you feel prepared. And instead of seeing failure as an end, you see it as the beginning of something better. Your struggles are not here to stop you. They are here to teach you. And the moment you start learning from them, you become unstoppable. Because no failure, no rejection, and no setback can defeat someone who is always willing to learn, grow, and rise again. There comes a moment in life when you have to make a decision to either keep going or give up, a decision to either believe in yourself or let self-doubt take over, a decision to either let failure define you or use it to fuel your success. And in that moment, the choice you make will shape your future. Most people wait for the perfect time to start again. They wait for things to become easier. They wait for the pain to fade, for the fear to disappear, for someone to come and tell them that they are good enough. But that moment never comes. Because the truth is, the perfect time doesn't exist. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never feel completely fearless. And if you keep waiting, you will spend your entire life standing still. The only way to move forward is to take action, even when you don't feel ready, even when you are scared, even when you have failed before, because success doesn't come to those who wait for the right moment. It comes to those who create it. Think about a person standing at the bottom of a staircase, staring at the top. They want to reach it, but they feel overwhelmed. The stairs seem too high, too difficult to climb, and so instead of taking the first step, they just stand there, hoping that somehow they will magically reach the top without effort. But life doesn't work that way. The only way to get to the top is by taking that first step, then the next, then the next. And before they know it, they are halfway there. That's how success works. You don't have to see the entire path. You just have to take the first step. Many people hold on to their past failures like a heavy burden. They carry their mistakes, their disappointments, their regrets with them everywhere they go. And because of that, they never truly move forward. But imagine if you were carrying a heavy bag on your shoulders. At first, you might be able to walk with it, but the longer you hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. And eventually, it will exhaust you. It will slow you down. It will stop you from going where you need to go. That's what happens when you hold on to your past. The weight of your failures will drain you. It will keep you stuck in the same place. And the only way to move forward is to let go. Failure is not a sign that you are not meant to succeed. It is simply life's way of redirecting you. Sometimes things don't work out the way you planned because something better is waiting for you. Sometimes the doors that close on you are actually protecting you from something that wasn't meant for you. But you will never see that if you are too focused on the past. The greatest mistake you can make is to let one failure define your entire future. You are not your mistakes. You are not your setbacks. You are not the things that went wrong in your life. You are the lessons you learned. You are the strength you gained. You are the person who survived, who kept going, who refused to quit. So no matter how many times you have failed, no matter how many times life has knocked you down, you have a choice to make. Will you stay down, or will you rise again? Will you let failure break you, or will you use it to build yourself stronger than ever? Your future is waiting for you. But you have to take that step. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. You have to be willing to try again, even when you are scared. Because in the end, success is not about never falling. It is about always choosing to rise. And if you have the courage to do that, nothing can stop you.